storm can knock the power out for days or weeks at a time, hence the need for a generator. But did you know that state law requires a permit? In this sponsored segment, reporter Sean Bailey talks to the folks at Craig's Electric and Generator Service about why generator safety is so important.
While it might seem like we're having a pretty slow hurricane season, winter weather is right around the corner, which means now is the time to think about generator safety. We're here at Craig's Electrical and Generator Service. I'm joined by the owner, Craig Jacomine, an expert on generator safety. And it's important for homeowners to educate themselves before purchasing or even having a generator serviced, right?
Yep, and that's where we come in. You know, we're seeing an uptick of generators that were improperly installed after Hurricane Ida. Even now, every time you look on social media, you're going to see ads of different companies selling, installing generators, but that doesn't mean that they're installed properly. And that's what we want to offer, a free home assessment to homeowners that might have concerns about the generator that's, current generator, or if they're selling a home or if they're buying a home. We can go out there and do a free home assessment to make sure that the generator is installed properly and it can work in a safe manner for the homeowners.
So after someone purchases a generator or when it's time to have it serviced, this is the guy that makes sure that it's done properly. I'm here with the service manager, David Wilbert Jr. And just because a generator is running doesn't mean that it's always safe, right?
Absolutely. Just because someone says, oh, your generator is operational, doesn't mean it was installed properly, doesn't mean that it's safe for the homeowners.
What is one of the first things you do as soon as you arrive on a site?
Once we get on site, we walk up to the generator. We're starting to investigate it, inspect it, making sure there's no deficiencies with the installation. That way we make sure there's the proper clearances for the venting of the exhaust of the generator, make sure that the gas line sized properly, make sure the electrical line is also properly installed. That way you have that peace of mind as a homeowner that your piece of equipment is safe, not only for you and your family, but also for your neighbors as well.
We also have the Terrytown Fire Prevention Chief, and you've seen a lot of mistakes when it comes to generators, but there are ways that these disasters can be prevented, right?
Absolutely. What we normally try to do is kill the problem in the beginning by going through the right permitting process. We have to make sure that the plans are submitted correctly, and I'll sign off on them, and also make sure they're installed as they give us the plans. So not only do we get the plans to start the process, after the generator is installed, we'll make another run out there to make sure they put it in according to the plans that they submitted. Now, there's another very, very important point I'd like to make here, and that is just because you have a home generator, that does not make it like it's fail-safe for everything. If your local officials tell you to evacuate and give you a mandatory evacuation, you really need to get out. The generator is going to do its job, the lights are going to go out, but when you come back and the local officials say it's safe to go back to your house, you still may not have electricity. That's when the generator will really, really come in and play its role to make you as comfortable as you can, because we all know how hot it gets after a hurricane. And another point I'd like to make is that since January of this year, all installations of home generators have to have CO2 detectors installed. And what that's going to do is give the homeowner a little bit more of a warning to get out the house if there's a problem. Plus, we'll get a phone call and or we'll get a dispatch, and we come in to help you. The New Orleans area in itself is very blessed to have some great firefighters, and they're here to protect you and your family.
Well, these were all some really great tips on generator safety. And Craig, thank you so much for all of your expert knowledge today. If people want to find out more information, how do they contact you?
They can go to craigselectrical.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Once they do that, they'll follow the instructions, upload the information that's required on the form, we'll review it, and call them to set up a home assessment.
Okay, and these were all some really great tips for homeowners as we move into winter weather season. For NOLA Now, I'm Sean Bailey.